Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the MFR Coaches podcast. I was talking today with a client of mine who's been coaching with me for about 3 years, and we were talking about the importance of going back and checking things that are working in your business, but that are maybe not working as good as they were in the beginning of your business. And one of these areas is really going in and checking your intake forms. So when was the last time you audited your intake form? A few years ago, I came up with about 1 million questions for intake forms that would help a therapist to gather information that would help them formulate their sales conversations when they're working with their MFR clients. And there are a lot of questions and a lot of content on this exact aspect inside my foundations program. And something I've learned recently by having new people in the program and with that conversation I had earlier today with a client, some of these things are going to start to not work as good if you don't update them kind of regularly, every so often. So what I see happening is many people took every single question that I wrote down and added it to their intake forms, making their intake forms super robust and long. And I think that that's not a problem in the way that for a nervous MFR therapist that's just starting out, that doesn't really understand how to sell MFR, that hasn't worked with a lot of clients, there are many more questions you probably have and that you think you need in order to have a conversation with them or even to treat them for the first time. So that's fine. If you're listening to this and you're like, wait a minute, I did that. I thought that's what we were supposed to do. I made these forms inside the program and asked questions, each question, sometimes 5 different ways. So think about it like this. If you're filling out an intake form, do you need to ask the same question 5 different ways, or can you just pick one of those questions knowing that it gets you to basically the same answer? So you're going to want to go through, look at all of your intake form questions and kind of remove things that are redundant because it's not necessary. If you're brand new and you've done this, maybe it is more necessary for you to have more questions. So really figure out where you're at in the process and just go through and audit that intake form and see where you're at. It's really important that you know why you are asking the questions that you're asking on that intake form. What is the purpose of this question? Is it necessary? Is this something I can ask about when they're here? Is this something that needs to be asked in person versus written down? Or would I get a different response or a better response if I was asking this in person? Am I asking the same question 5 different ways? Is this form as simple as possible for my client to fill out? Is this form somehow a barrier to treatment for some clients? Right? Like we never want to create barriers for our clients. So really ask yourself that question. Would I want to fill this form out? Think about it like this. Am I making it as easy as possible for someone to opt into treatment with me? Are there questions and conversations I can have in person to fill in any gaps or enrich the information collected so that I can help them better in person? It's time to go and look at that intake form and dust it off. Get rid of the things that no longer are needed in order for you to get that information. Maybe it just means adding better or different questions if you don't have enough information when clients come in. Maybe you don't have access to my program and you don't know what I'm talking about here, so you don't have all of these extra questions. But have you ever customized your intake form to be specifically for MFR, or are you using a generic form? Is it giving you the information that you need so you have more confidence and you have an idea about your client when they come in? What you needed to ask 1 to 5 years ago isn't likely still the same today. You have more experience, more confidence. and you understand your flow better. You probably have your sales conversation, your offer, your policies all mapped out and likely memorized by now. If you're listening to this and you're like, wait, I don't have any of this, please consider joining my program for access to these types of things. You get access to all the intake questions and sales skills needed to help your clients get the best possible results from staying in treatment and getting lots of MFR. And that's always our goal, is to help clients over time so that they get the full and true benefit and not just a one-off treatment. In the meantime, think about what you need to know about your client before they come in to be prepared to see them, knowing that you can gather more information when they are there in front of you. Lean into your ability to ask good questions and to be curious, knowing that you know how to help them and you are going to do your best no matter what. Get ready for the Get Fully Booked Coach-a-thon happening from July 22nd through the 26th at noon Central. Registration is now open for this free event offering daily coaching sessions focused on getting your MFR practice fully booked. Join us every day at noon Central for actionable insights and hands-on coaching. Imagine a thriving MFR practice where you never under-earn and you never burn out. Sounds amazing, right? Plus, our Foundations coaching program launches on July 22nd with exclusive savings and bonus offers available through the 26th. So don't miss out on this chance to transform your practice and take it to the next level. Let's make MFR mainstream together. Visit www.themfrcoach.com/coachathon to register now. Having calm energy around the intake process is a great goal to have. It doesn't mean you will always have that, though. Knowing that you will improve over time, that no one expects you to be perfect, and there is a lot of space for you to just be you. Having curiosity and openness to asking your clients questions and gathering data is a perfect place to begin and to stay in, really. You don't have to grill the client. You don't have to know all the details. You don't have to know how committed they are. Likely, the more you treat a client, the more they'll remember things that have happened to them and will reveal them to you over time. Not because they're hiding it, they simply just don't remember. Things will make more sense as this starts to unfold. It's always fascinating to me when you're 3 to 4 treatments in and someone's like, oh yeah, I fell all the way out of a tree and people thought I was dead when I was 7, right? They just forget that that happened to them. But they survived that and moved on and didn't realize that that could be contributing to pain or that it was even relevant anymore because it didn't happen yesterday. These are the kinds of things that an intake form isn't necessarily going to give you that data. A lot of your experience with the intake form and selling MFR will be determined by how confident you feel in your skills to treat and your confidence that MFR works, and your confidence in yourself. If you find yourself waiting to tell people you're open because you aren't ready or that you need to take one more seminar, I want you to know that you aren't alone, and it's not the next seminar that will create that confidence for you. You should take all of the seminars, but it works even better if you're practicing what you've learned on real, live, paying clients and not waiting. Clients want your help now, and they don't need you to know everything. They just need you to have the bravery and the willingness to show up and offer treatment, even when you feel insecure and like you don't know enough, because you do know enough. I encourage you to get support and learn skills that are separate from treatment techniques. The skills taught to you in my program have nothing to do with treatment techniques and everything to do with talking about and selling MFR, setting policies, your schedule, your rate, overcoming client objections, improving your website and online booking, and making everything easier for your clients to access you and book with you right now. But more importantly, what we work on is an inside job, how you feel about yourself doing MFR, how you feel about your ability to create results with your clients. We work on imposter syndrome. We work on all of the things that no one wants to talk about or believe are going wrong with them. We normalize how difficult it is to run a business as a therapist because you have to take on a completely new identity to be a CEO of a business and to also be the therapist in that business. Learning these skills is what will make MFR mainstream. You invest so much time and money into your skill set. Invest in learning how to optimize and sell those skills to the people who need them the most and morph into the CEO you never knew you needed to be in order to do so. We'll be here. I'm doing a 5-day training, a 5-day immersive coaching experience where we are going to cover all of the things that get you fully booked. We'll meet at noon Central each day, July 22nd through 26th. I'll be covering topics just like intake forms. You'll walk away with simple steps that you can take action on right away to improve your MFR business and improve the way you think about it and think about yourself. When you have more ease in your business, you'll make more money, help more people, and have a better experience while feeling more in control and less like it's just up to the world if you're fully booked or not. So come and get fully booked with us during the Coachathon, July 22nd through the 26th. Sign up for free today by going to www.themfrcoach.com/coachathon. During the Coachathon, there'll be special bonus offers associated with joining my 12-month Foundations coaching program. So it's a perfect time to take this training, see what is possible for you to learn, and then also sign up and get 12 months of support. You don't want to miss out. So register today so you get all of the information you need to join us live. And I'll see you on another episode of the MFR Coaches Podcast. Bye. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a minute and rate and review the podcast. I appreciate it. For more information, please follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The MFR Coach. And check out my website, www.themfrcoach.com for more information. If you are currently not working 20 hours or less and making 6 figures in your MFR business, I want to help you change that. Make sure you tune into the show and get on my email list so you never miss out on important trainings and information. To be the first to find out when we are enrolling next for my 12-month Business Foundations coaching program, get on that email list at www.themfrcoach.com/join. Inside this program, you'll learn how to raise your rate, overcome objections, and sell MFR. You'll become the MFR therapist that never under-earns and never burns out. It's up to us to make MFR mainstream, and it starts with you and your successful MFR practice. See you next week.